Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Chess with Shilo. And हम आज कवर करेंगे one of the best or one of the toughest encounters or comebacks in the chess right now. It is a GCT finals. Grand Chess Tour हुआ था अभी सेंट लुइस में एंड आज रात को उसका आ गया था रिजल्ट एंड व्हाट हैपेंस लेट्स सी सो कल हमने ऑलरेडी एक गेम रिकॉर्ड किया था एंड दैट वाज मिडनाइट सो आई कुडंट कंप्लीट द होल मैचेस तो मैंने सिर्फ थर्ड जो रैपिड गेम था वहां तक फॉलो किया था फोर्थ मैंने रात को देखा ऑनलाइन एंड Pragg has a winning position and then I fall asleep. I make sure that Pragg win and that's what we are going to cover. So this is a rapid round, fourth round and we are going to start it. And इसके बाद blitz round भी होंगे and it is going to be very exciting guys because match was really neck to neck. So Pragg really went in win his first rapid game and I will put my link in the description. You can check it before this if you want, and we can just go ahead with the game. Let's go. So Pragg has the black pieces and Fabi has the white pieces. Fabi started with e4, c5, so we have a Sicilian defense, and it's a very classic opening. e6 is played. Uh, Fabi went for castling, knight g7. It's a very open or we can say it's a नजदीक फिर से मैं गलत बोल दूंगा पढ़ के बोलना पड़ेगा नश्मदीनो रसोलिमो अटैक ये मैं भी बहुत खेलता था यू प्रोटेक्ट दिस नाइट विद दिस नाइट सो दैट तुम्हारे पॉन्स डबल ना हो opponent played c3 and he replies with this pawn pushes trying to back the bishop. It's a very concrete line and it's analyzed so many times at this professional level, so you can see they are barely using their time. Knight a3, it's a typical idea where you can take back your bishop and put the knight here. I think Fabi goes for this, or yeah, he first put the rook out, rook b8, and that's where I left. I think in my earlier chat, I was like, come on, Fabi, who plays like this, rook b8? But yeah, he comes up with this idea, and Pragg pushes b4, and b4 seems to be a very good counter attack. You have only knight c4 move, and otherwise Pragg should be better. Pragg attacked the knight and Fabi defenses with the pawn. Bishop to e7, knight goes to e3. And if you see, the structure is really good for white, but the problem is pieces are very intact. While you see the position is very open for black, you see there is some space advantage here. Pawns are also protected. There is also some chances of bringing the rook wherever he wants. This bishop is very good bishop, while this two bishops, just hiding behind at the back. So Fabi is somehow constrained, and you can see from the time, uh, current time situation, he was some 4 minutes behind the clock. Pragg castles, and he went back with the rook, and it seems like Fabi has gone somewhere wrong. So queen c7, bishop d2, and here goes the bishop b7. And bishop b7's one rook has been traded. There is a queen being to b1, and rook goes to b8. Now I will share you the idea of this rook b1. Rook b1 simply because the last move by white, aligning the rook with the queen. It's a very general idea where you don't have to use so much time and trying to be more practical. There is a pawn trade on b4 and the finally the bishop on b3. So it's somehow stopping this b3 move after once you take back. So knight a5, you just try to attack this bishop. And again, Fabi wants to trade as many pieces as possible because he senses there is something, some sort of attack is going on the queen side. So he wants to eliminate more pieces. Bishop to c6. He doesn't want to trade, and that's a very good idea. And this is the first mistake you can see from the Fabi side. It's a big mistake, b3, because his bishop somehow seems locked. He doesn't have a backing square. वो पीछे नहीं जा पाता. So यहाँ पर एक मिस हो गया प्रग से. Pragg is not able to find out the best move. Pragg actually plays knight takes c4, but uh, if he has to play the best move, uh, it should be goes to, sorry, queen to b7. The idea of queen b7 is again like uh, not much, I would say. It's more about this aligning the queen and bishop to add a battery towards the opponent king. ये एक idea हो सकता था. Also, then you will trade and you will push this pawn. So ये एक theory हो सकती है. But yeah, Pragg actually went for knight takes c4 and pawn takes, and it's again Pragg is comfortable with this position. Knight went back to f1 from Fabi, and Pragg lashes out with d5. एंड Pragg का ये मूव बहुत प्रैक्टिकल था. इसको ऐसे नहीं सोच सकते कि it's a genuine mistake, because anyone in this position would do that. They want to, create some sort of weakness in white camp, and that's what he does. C takes has been played. C takes, E takes, and E5. This E5 is also a mistake. You should have gone for some knight d4 action. Knight d4 इसलिए better होता है क्योंकि you actually wanted to take this bishop. It's very strong, but that's what not happened in the game. And yeah, c5 has been played, and Pragg rightly rightly countered it with d4. Queen to d3 has been played. So okay, so queen d3 has been played, and queen d3, again, the idea is simple. He just wanted to bring in the queen to an active square, and also some way you can, bring the rook into the game, and you see the pieces are very much strangled, and Fabi's hold on to his pieces. He just doesn't. He was playing this game. He doesn't want to lose this, because this loss will cost him 4 points. That's why he's protecting his king like to the neck, you can say. So pawn takes, queen takes, queen takes, pawn takes, and you will see again the pawn structure is very uh, not promising from Fabi. It's a double pawn. Also, the pawn islands are it's very isolated. You can target it by using your rook. In some cases, also bring up the knight by some way. You will see how Pragg has navigated through the positions, and finally he brings a knight to a4. His idea is to attack this pawn, deliver a fork. That should be game over. And yeah, here you might think like, why he's not capturing this pawn and moving this rook. The point is this pawn is actually worth nothing. Fabi would be happy to give away this pawn and bring his king up with a tempo. So that's why, bishop came into the game, and g5 has been played. G5 is actually a miss from Praggnanandhaa. It should be better if he had played knight takes f3, which is the best move, and if king to king to g2, you can just come back to f5 square. That should be better. But yeah, g5 has been played. He wanted to kick this bishop out, but there is a defense for Fabi. He plays bishop g3. And again, if you see the previous game, if you have seen the previous game, you can go back and see that. So it's the same kind of defense mechanism the Fabi has used. He even the pieces are same, where where there is a nice queen staring competition in between them for some 10-12 moves. Knight f5 has been played, and Fabi tried to get rid of his double pawn. Praggnanandhaa doesn't pay attention to it and play g4, which is not good, but yeah, they both are very low on time, so it makes sense. He takes the h3 pawn. Fabi gives away this pawn because he wanted to mess up this pawn structure. You see now there are again four pawn islands, but somehow the pawns are really nicely defended, while white's pawns does look the majority does look good at the first, but sometimes this will be a passer, and who knows what's going to happen. King h2 has been played, and it's rook c8. Rook c8. The idea is to trying to swamp up the rook to a better square, maybe c3 to attack this pawn, or maybe c2, who knows. So king takes h3, and here comes h5. H5 is actually a great move because you see this this h4 square is already covered by the knight, and sorry, h4 square is already covered by the knight and the bishop, and this g4 square is where the game lies in, where the king can come into the position. So Praggnanandhaa doesn't give Fabi a single chance of having a counter play. So king goes back, and that's where you see the advantage bar has gone up so high. Rook c3 has been played, and now Fabi will be hang on to his DL life in this game. Rook b1 has been played. It's a very passive move. If you have to defend the pawn like this, like Fabi is doing, it's very difficult. And h4 has been played. You see the bishop is also locked in by his own pawns. He has only one square to go to. Bishop h2. It's very mm, again h3 trying to kick away this king. Also, he does give away some advantage, but it seems practical because you are, having a king h1 has been played, and you see the king, bishop, knight, all are tied to their back ranks. Even this rook, nothing is developed. In the end, knight h4 has been played, and knight d2. Knight d2 to stop any ideas of knight f3, but rook d3 has been played, and rook d3 is to attack this knight. Rook b2 trying to hang on to this knight and pawn, but you see uh, the only thing in this attack is, you see, you can't deliver a checkmate with just knight and a rook. You have to bring pieces into the game. So how would you do it? It's easy. You have to bring the king in the game. King h7, and you have a clear path. You have to bring the king like this, king here, and then you just take up all the pawns, and somehow try to infiltrate into the position to win this game. And that's what Praggnanandhaa had did. And you see that's a classy sacrifice. It's not needed, but yeah, here if you capture this rook, knight to f2, it's a nice check. Give away one pawn, but you will leave up with extra knight. So that should be enough to complete the game. And yeah, the game will lead to a couple of more moves. And you see there is a final blow which I really liked. Knight to g6, bringing the knight back to defend this bishop, not allowing a single counter play because this rook is trying to attack both the pawn and the bishop. So he defends all the things in the position. King takes h3, even gives away a pawn. It doesn't matter. And again, he goes back with the rook. And now you see there is nothing Fabi can do. He's already down on knight, and he's mm, going to take this f4 pawn, then take this pawn, maybe use his bishop to, some sort of lift. And Fabi just resigned in this position because he knows it's over for now. And now you see the game score is 11-9. That means when the blitz section will start, Praggnanandhaa will have a 2 point lead. So he has a little age in blitz. He can survive up to a one game. Now let's start seeing the next game. So this is actually where the Fabi starts a comeback of his own. First game of the blitz ended up in a draw. So the score was 10 to 12. And this game is where the Fabi comeback has started. So it's a blitz game. If he wins this game, 2 point will be added to his account, and uh, he will catch up to Praggnanandhaa. So again, Sicilian has been played, and if you are a Sicilian player or a E4 player, you should follow all these games because you will learn so much from these openings. First they play Nashmedino, Rosolino. Now they have played a traditional Sicilian line, so it's very good to learn these lines from the best in the business. And yeah, E5 is one of the lines. Um, F6 has been played. Queen E2, trying to, somehow see what's Pragg's idea is. Takes, and then knight to F6. If you haven't watched a video with my student, so there I have mentioned about this tension between the bishops. When there is, a lot of tension, and there is a concept of good bishop versus a bad bishop. When you are playing a Fanchito opening, it's not a Fanchito opening, but if you played, somewhere 1,000 to 1,500 rating players, you shouldn't trade pieces right away, because once you trade it, the diagonal will be occupied for the white pieces. So it's better to bring the knight in, knight to f6. And you see here, that's the first mistake from the Fabi, queen to c4. I don't know why it's a mistake, because d6 is a good move according to engine. Then you have to trade this bishop pair, and it's a very deep down in the line. They will be equal. So we are not going to cover it. It's actually not a mistake. It's actually a preparation from Fabi that you will see. Queen to b6 has been played, trying to attack this pawn, also having an eye on this f2 square. So there might be an idea in the future. You can play d5 and follow it with knight e4 or knight to g4, trying to attack this f2 square. So there are some weakness in the camp, but long castle, Fabi is just okay. He's like, okay, Pragg, what do you have in this game? d5, d5. Pragg is trying to be, uh, aggressive, trying to exchange pieces. Knight to a4. Again, Pragg has slight advantage in this game. If he he does trade the queen, which is practically a good decision. Bishop takes d4, not a good idea. And then he plays e5. Now, see the idea behind this e5 pawn push, where you are sacrificing a pawn for activity. It's really, really good for black. Ah, let's see what happens if we capture this position, because everybody want to see, like, if it's a free pawn, then why shouldn't we take it? So let's examine it. So here the problem is bishop to h6 check. Since you long castle, this diagonal is actually weak. Now there are two ways to go from this position. Either you can play f4, which seems you are overextending the position. I think king d1 is a proflecting move. Seems nice, but you again going into a, a rook psi in the future. So once this bishop will be off to this diagonal, you can just come in this semi-open B file and then try to open up the position. So it's a really mess of a position, but yeah, it's really good. And now Praggnanandhaa is not able to find the accurate response to it. Yeah, so actually Fabi goes for bishop c5 and rook to f7 is what Praggnanandhaa goes for. f3, f3, bishop e6, and slowly but surely Praggnanandhaa is starting doubting himself. You see from his moves, he tried to exchange more pieces because the more drawish position he has, the more better his chances to win this finals because he just have to hang on to two or three blitz game. So here you see he does create a nice central pawn majority on the board. And here also h5 has been played. He is a very good, you can say, sense of uh, pawn chain as well as area wise. You can say he has a better position, but somehow these bishops are not as good as these two bishops, which is going to cost him this game. H4 and rook to e8. Now the game starts to spice up a bit. Bishop d4 and knight uh, knight to d7. He first trades this bishop, and I see this French to bishop has been traded, which is a very good bishop for black in order to attack in the white's camp. Once it is gone, so actually the attack is really gone. You have to, try to switch your play to more of a queen side. Actually, king is here, so you can say it king side, but it's actually queen side. That's irony. I don't know why. Rook e3 and rook to e7. And soon, yeah, this pawn has been captured. There is a pawn trade. Knight e5 has been played, and slowly knight c5. King goes to h6, trying to bring the king to a better square. And there again, Pragg start going wrong. He doesn't have to play this side of the board, although it seems like you can trade and create a passer of your own. But it's very easy for white to, switch positions and trying to take care of the king side. Knight to d4 has been played, and it seems again like this bishop has been. So this bishop has to go to a better square. There is a trade on g5 and king goes to f6. Now the position is quite equal and both have 20 seconds in the game. So we are just going to navigate through the critical moments. There is a there is a pawn that Praggnanandhaa has given, and you will see the Fabi's advantage is starting to building up soon. Knight b8 has been played, bishop has been saved, and now since Pragg is an exchange down, but he does have some chances of pushing this pawn and trying to create some counter play. h3 has been played, knight a6. Again, Fabi has a chance to kick into the position by going either bishop f5 or rook d4 check. This should keep his position on, but this king e5 move, it will be very easy because uh, knight c5 has been played, and this is again the last mistake from the Pragg's end. Although the game lasts for a lot of moves, we are going to just pim. Again, it seems like this pawn is actually worth, protecting, but it's not going anywhere because this rook will stand there for the rest of the game. You have to bring knight somewhere here or here where your rook will be, or either your rook will be playing on g1, but it's very difficult to, play this position. This knight is already come to the defense and this trade. Now it's all over. There is no chance Pragg is going to defend this game, but he tries uh, every trick in the book in order to protect this pawn. And that's what, if you are playing Blitz, you shouldn't. And finally, the game ends here. And why he resigned, he does have 3 seconds he can play on for like 20, 30 more moves, but then his knight will be lost. And so his king is already in a bad square. You can play king b5 and try to hold on to the position, but yeah, a4 and it's over. You can see there are mating ideas hanging on. Even if king to a6 has been played, rook takes b6 is even over. King takes, pawn takes, and this pawn will be promoting soon enough. There will be no counterplay, and Praggnanandhaa knows this thing, and now the score has been tied to 12-12. So it's all went to the final game. Actually, not final. It's a pre-final game, third blitz game. So let's cover this. Now, since they are playing Sicilian a lot in Rapid and Blitz, Praggnanandhaa thought it's better. Let's go for some Queen's Gambit decline lines. Fabi too has a very good experience. He played 2018 World Championship games in all the Queens. They are all Queen's Gambit and D4 games. So Fabi does have better experience in it, but Prague wants a dynamic game, and that's what he got. He got a good position in the opening, has a nice knight pair trying to defend his king. His bishop is trying to snipe into the king's side of black, and that's what Praggnanandhaa wanted in this game. A3 and I will tell you when this game is going to get very spicy. Well, there is a sneaky tactic. You see, B4, and let's see if you place Queen A4. Can you find out the best move from White? Actually, it's a way to defend, uh, way to trap Black's Queen. So I think all you guys who wanted to pay attention, it's bishop to c2, bishop to c2, rook takes, and again the queen is hanging, so it doesn't matter. uh Queen is doesn't have a backward square. It's more like a king right now, even a pawn less than. So yeah, this actually didn't happen in the game. King went to this b6 square, and yeah, again this exchange has been done. F5 has been played, and this F5 move give away some advantage to Pragg, where he went back with the bishop. Better move should be to bring it all the way back and uh, try to go into this long diagonal where there is a king, and that's what Fabi has done. But in some way, a different way, more of a human way, you can see. This bishop went to d4, and yeah, queen d6, bishop goes to c5. Here, uh, trying to harass this queen. So you see, what happens if you are trying to keep an eye on this queen. Earlier, the queen was on a5, and how many moves he has made? So two moves, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, and six moves the queen has made, and it transferred itself from king side queen side to king side, and it doesn't have a good future. They traded few pieces, and again you have to move his queen outside. Then there are some Yeah, here he did lose a pawn on a3. I think it is about the time pressure that come in. He comes back with the position. He takes the a3 pawn, but he does get some counterplay on this queen, and that's what this game is all about. He just trying to harass Fabi's king, queen all along. So it does is a queen's game by decline position, but it's more of a queen's attacking game. And you see, there is a lot of attack in the queen's position, and this is the final jaw drop. Where he plays this f6 move. Look at this move and try to see what is the beauty lies in it. You have 4 seconds on the clock to take with this, or this. Obviously, you are not going to take with the queen, but these two are the options. What Fabi chooses, Fabi goes for bishop to d5. Now the bishop to d5 doesn't make much sense because if you see the killer blow in this position, uh, it is actually knight takes g5. And knight takes g5 is such a cool move because he calculated move mate in 8 moves. Yeah, you heard it right. It's a mate in 8 moves. We are going to see it right now. G takes h5 or whatever you can play. The better move is this. So here h takes g5 has been played, and now did you see mate in 3? So you can pause the video and try to find the best move with the white pieces. I think this will be an easy one because if you know how the bishop is stopping the king entry's path, it will be easier to find the move. It's queen to h5, and queen to h5 in this position. Fabi resigns because he knows there is a mate going on. Yeah, this is mate, so you can survive up to 2 moves. Queen to d6 maybe, trying to give away this, but who is more interested in taking the queen? You harass the queen all the long, and finally queen comes in to just save the king for one more move, and that's what happened in the game. Actually, not happen in the game. Fabi did resign, but if it does continue, so it will be finished like this. This will be checkmate, and what a game it would be. So with this game, Praggnanandhaa has 14 points while Fabi has 12. And जब उनका next Blitz game हुआ, uh, it ended in a draw. It was a pretty nice game as well, but again, it was very equalish and finally ended up, having same pieces on the board. They repeated the position and agreed to a draw. And here comes 2026 GCT final champion Praggnanandhaa Ramesh Babu. So a huge congratulations to him because he becomes the first Indian to win the Grand Chess Tour. और Grand Chess Tour बहुत लंबी सीरीज है, तो इसको ऐसा मत सोचना कि ये सिर्फ दो ब्लिट्स गेम, सॉरी 4 ब्लिट्स गेम, 2 रैपिड गेम और 2 क्लासिकल गेम में खत्म होगा। नहीं भाई, बहुत लंबा चला है ये पूरा साल भर चलता है। साल की स्टार्टिंग में स्टार्ट होता है, एंड देर आर सो मेनी events you have to get into, so many great players you have to beat, and then finally come into the final segment where you have to play a qualifiers, then quarterfinals, then semifinals, then this finals. So huge congratulations to him. और रही बात प्राइज मनी की भाई, तो ये बताना चाहूंगा कि इसको जीतने से प्रज्ञानंदा को मिले हैं $200,000। इन इंडियन रुपीज इट इज समवेयर इक्वल टू 2 करोड़। और टोटल मनी जो इस ग्रैंड चेस टूर का 2026 में उसने कमाया है, दैट वुड बी अराउंड $400,000, विच इज 4 करोड़ इन टोटल। तो भाई तुमको करोड़पति जाने की कौन बने करोड़पति में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू कैन बी ए बेटर चेस प्लेयर एंड स्टिल बी ए करोड़पति. सो हैंड्स ऑफ टू प्रज्ञानंदा. हैप्पी रक्षाबंधन बाय द वे. सो these आर द राखीज इन माय हैंड. एंड दोज हु डोंट नो, एंड इंडियन ऑडियंस को तो पता ही है. हैप्पी रक्षाबंधन एंड हैव अ ग्रेट डे. थैंक यू एंड फॉलो मी